This episode is brought to you by Bevel. And it's the first and only shaving system for men with coarse, curly hair. Clinically proven to reduce and prevent razor bumps. 4 out of 5 men reported reduced razor bumps, discoloration, and irritation after using the Bevel system. Designed from the ground up to give a smooth, bump-free shave. Now, they sent me a Bevel kit, and it is gorgeous. Make a great gift. It reminded me of watching my father shave in the mirror when I was a kid, because it's got all these really beautiful items. You get all this great stuff. Now, to get your Bevel Shaving Kit, go to getbevel.com. That's GETBEVEL.com today. And use the code RU to get 20% off. This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Yes, Squarespace. Now, get started with a free trial at squarespace.com with no credit card required. And when you're ready to purchase a plan, get 10% off with the offer code RU. That's squarespace.com, offer code RU.
What do you want? What's the tea? Tell me what's the tea? What's the tea? Tell me what's the tea? What's the tea? Tell me what's the tea? What's the tea? Tell me what's the tea?
Hey, RuPaul, What's the Tea with Michelle Visage. We got a jam-packed show today.
Oh my God, I can't wait. One of my favorite people.
Yes, our special guest is here, Leah Remini.
Yay! Right,
You made it. Now, you couldn't find the place because you don't have good direction. You don't have that.
I don't have that.
You never had that?
Never. Like
Why
anybody
is that?
who knows me knows that I'm a great driver. I will
Right.
get you there very quickly
Yeah.
and safely. It might take a long time if I've never been to a location. I get very weirded out
She's
about
also not long on
streets.
patience.
But
No, exactly. I could have, honestly, before I left the house, I thought you screwed up, Michelle.
No, I didn't.
Because it wouldn't allow me to put in the actual address.
Huh.
Okay, so it was just giving me the option of 3 numbers.
Yeah.
As opposed to 4, which is where...
So you're a GPS girl.
Oh.
Not really, but today I was like, let me go out of my comfort zone.
can
and use
believe that.
the-
So how else would you get there?
Usually I have an assistant who prints it out, but he's doing jury duty today.
Right. But now, I don't understand, because you've lived in Hollywood for just about 25 years.
Mainly,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Mainly here. Yes.
You didn't even drive when you moved here. Were you 13 when you moved here?
Yeah, but I was driving.
At 13.
Here all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
No, not at 13. Maybe.
I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand
Not-
the thing.
I was exaggerating.
Because I've always been good with directions.
Yeah.
I'm not good with math. There are a lot of things I'm
Okay.
not good with. Direction I am. I just have a sense in my body.
Okay, but let me
That's
ask you
good.
this. Because here's what I think.
Yeah.
You're from San Diego.
Yes.
Leah's from New York. I'm from New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
When you tell a New York and New Jersey person, for the most part, to go north, south, east,
Okay,
west.
that's what she did. She was like, it's north
Because
of...
he said to do it. I don't know north.
Yeah.
North of
you
what?
say,
What
but
did
go
she say?
towards-
What did
She
say?
said it's north of Santa Monica.
What does that mean?
You mean north of Santa Monica Boulevard?
Yeah, but what does that mean? North to us means up. We don't
Right.
know how to go north.
Correct.
East
If
is
I'm
to the
going
right.
north, I know that I have to spell out we to go west or east. Like, that's how I... Okay,
my
but I have
God.
to be facing one of those places to go...
So
right.
how do you know if we're facing north, south,
You
or
do
east,
not
west?
know. You have to be smart.
So
No.
go make a right here at the second block.
No, listen, the thing is that we here in Hollywood, this is how everything is based. It's based on the Santa Monica mountain range. And what separates the valley from Hollywood
Yeah.
is that Santa Monica mountain range.
But we're surrounded by mountains.
Everywhere you look, there's
No.
mountains.
There's only one mountain range here in Los Angeles, and that is the Santa Monica mountain range, which goes from the Pacific Ocean all the way
lost
west.
me. Already
And
lost
so
me. I'm
you
already
live.
lost.
See, I know that you live
lost.
over on the other side of the mountain.
Yeah.
I live on this side of the mountain.
Correct.
And that's what separates.
But is that
What?
north or south?
Don't know.
No, yeah, because
Still don't know. I'm blanking out.
Then people go towards the ocean.
And I
That's
just
to the
say,
west.
don't know what that means.
Where? I don't see the ocean.
Left or right?
How do I go to
Is
the
it
ocean?
on my right or my left?
If you don't see it, how do you go to it if you don't see it?
Where do I go?
Thank you.
Is it next to a Starbucks?
Left or right?
Correct.
now, but with acting though, it's interesting because I've seen you act, and you're so good at it. It has to do with intuitive powers, instinctual powers. how do you apply that to driving? I mean,
You can't.
There has to be. Tell me about that intuitive power that you have. What does it feel like to someone who doesn't act?
You mean in the moment? Like
in the moment.
In the moment is you need to be with people you have chemistry with, because that's a big part of it. Because I've done shows where there's just no chemistry. So your intuition comes into play when you're really playing with somebody who you know will hit the ball, or you know if maybe there's not a great joke, that person's going to just do something crazy and random that's going to make this a greater moment. And so that just comes with when you're in those moments, like you, Michelle, have. You, Michelle, have a chemistry, and that is invaluable. So when you laugh at Michelle, and then somehow Michelle extends your joke, or you extend her joke, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it just plays off each other, and that's where I think it comes from, is just a connection between
does your
people
training,
who are playing.
But does your training teach you how to create that chemistry with another person? Is it just natural, or can you create that?
What do you do as an
What if
actor?
it's not there?
Yeah.
You just put it there, but there is no extra. Do you see what I'm saying? There's no extra thing. So you're just doing your job as opposed to really living your job and loving your job, because you just get it up. That's it. And that's the pro in you. You can't sit and sulk and go, well, they're not the best partner to play with, or they're just very much about their lines or what they're doing, and so they're not able to play in the moment. For me, it's about being present and about really making contact. Kevin and I on Kevin King of Queens, we used to go, do you see me? Do you see me? Do you see me? Do you see me? Because, you get that glaze where you're scared for a second, just like right before you go on.
And you're thinking about the lines.
Oh my God, I see you. No, you don't really see me. You don't really see me. And then you'll see all of a sudden the person come into themselves.
Crazy.
And then you're like, yes, I see you.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Now that you can apply that to everything in life.
Totally. Because if you're nervous about it, doesn't even matter. You just tell your best friend, here, hold my hand and look at me and let's do this weird thing for a minute, and just say, do you see me? Do you see me? Do you see me? Yes, I see you. Yes, I see you. And it just, for some reason, puts you in your body and puts you in your I don't know, it just kind of grounds you. Yes, perfect.
Did you know Kevin James before you did the show?
I didn't know Kevin, and what's funny is when they asked me to do it, I was mourning. I'm one of those actresses that mourns the prior show, and I'll never work again, and I'm just not leaving the house. I'm not reading scripts at this time, like anybody's even asking. Okay,
What was before that? Was that
Fired Up?
Fired Up?
Yeah, Fired Up.
Fired Up.
Yeah,
With Sharon Lawrence.
Yes, and because I became best friends with Mark Feuerstein, and I just couldn't imagine not working with him every day. And I was sitting in my apartment in the Valley, and I was just not hearing it. I was just like, I just cannot do this career. And I'm just being dramatic. And my mother's like, so go work for Survival Insurance again, Leah. And I was like, that's nasty, but no, I'm not going to do that. But
I'm not reading scripts.
I'm not reading. Maybe I'll read this one. And then, so there was a few scripts at the time. It was Will and Grace.
Friends.
Well, Friends I had, that was prior. Friends was prior, and that was a heartbreak too.
Before we discuss Leah's Friends story, let's take a minute to talk about Bevel. Listen, you guys, they sent me this box. It's a shaving kit that is so beautiful. They have designed this thing from the ground up for the best shaving experience possible. It's designed for people with coarse, curly hair, but really anyone who shaves can use it. And it reminded me of the shaving system that my father used to have when I was a kid. I used to watch him shave in the mirror. And it's that stainless steel shaver that you remember, if you're as old as I am, from your childhood. Hey, and if you're looking for a perfect gift for the man in your life, for anybody who shaves in your life, Bevel Shaving Kit is the thing you're looking for. The way it arrives at your door is beautiful. The box, the packaging, all of the items that come in the box are phenomenal. Check out getbevel.com and you won't be disappointed. So chic, so beautiful, and all of the items that come in this box are really helpful. You'll receive a super slick stainless steel razor, a shaving brush, priming oil, shaving cream, restoring balm, and 20 bevel blades. Go to getbevel.com today. That's GETBEVEL.com. And use the code RU to get 20% off. This thing is fantastic. Friends was prior to Fired Up.
Yeah.
Fired Up was a sitcom with Sharon Lawrence that didn't fly. You just did the pilot. And
No, we did like 13 episodes. We aired after Seinfeld. And which is crazy about that is that everybody's like, oh my God, you're after Seinfeld. It's like, yeah, we're after Seinfeld. So here they have like a 60 share, which I'm exaggerating, but like a 30 share at the time. And so millions and millions and millions, right, of viewers. And then, like, let's say we got a 25 share, like a 20 share, which is crazy numbers. Again, still, they look at it, the difference between the drop-off. And for advertisers and networks, they go, well, that's 10 million people we're losing. Right. Because the show, so it didn't matter.
That's
you know what
crazy. That's
it was
crazy.
nuts. It was nuts. The numbers were nuts, right? But okay, so Friends was I was auditioning for Friends. It was originally called Friends Like Us. I read the script. It was at Warner Brothers. And I read the script with the guy that I was dating at the time, and he was auditioning for one of the roles as well. And we're walking around Warner Brothers like we owned the place because we kept getting callbacks. And I was like, how weird is this? We'll be working together, sleeping together. You know, this is so great. Oh, my God, what are we going to buy? I mean, we were just carrying on like teenagers.
Planning out your future.
Exactly.
Right.
And he actually didn't make it to the end rounds, but I went to network for it, and
which means that's the last stop.
That's the last stop where you go to actual NBC. You know, the actual studio,
not just the casting people.
Right. So you get through 50,000 castings, and they came out. I remember I was waiting in the waiting room,
And you were reading for Monica?
Was it Yes, I think Monica.
Yeah, Courtney Cox is.
Yes.
Yes.
And they came out, it was between me and some other girl that we bonded on the audition. And I was like, if I don't get it, I hope you get it. And she was like, if I don't get it, I hope you get it. And we were like, all right. And we both went in and then had to wait, right? And sitting there looking at each other. And then they came out, they pulled me aside, they go, how do you feel about wearing a wig? And I was like, fine, whatever. And then they go, okay, we want you to come back in, but can you do nothing with the lines? Like just kind of throw the lines away? And I was like, but they're laughing. You know, you cannot with a New York, somebody who's an entertainer, who's getting laughs, you can't. It's just against my nature, you know. But that just showed them that I didn't listen. And that nobody wants to work with an actor or a performer who doesn't listen or take a note. But I thought I knew better, of course, and I went in and I did the same thing. And they were like, thank you guys, to me and the girl. And as we're leaving, we're already crying. Like, we did, for some reason, just felt like we didn't get it. And we see Courtney Cox walking through the parking lot. And by the way, it was a Saturday, so the parking lot was completely empty except for the audition people who were there. And we were like, okay, we didn't get it. It was just devastating. It was devastating. And then the monster hit it that it became. He was like, oh.
Oh, my goodness. Who was the other actress who you were auditioning
with? I should know her name because I felt that we did bond. But she was very sweet. I don't think she ever acted after that.
How often do you see people have you worked and auditioned with people who just disappear? Does that happen often?
Well, no. You basically have the same people over and over again as you're coming up. You know, for me, it was like Jennifer Aniston was my thorn in my side because Aniston is here. You know what I mean?
Because the same people go out for the same roles.
Yes.
Who else? Who do you see at every? Do you still audition? You still audition for things?
No,
you don't.
When do you get to the point where you don't have to audition anymore?
Well, it depends. I mean, I would audition for. Movies or things that I'm not used to doing.
For sitcoms, you don't have to.
No, thank God. I mean, it's like, and by the way, I don't mind auditioning. It's just that I'm not great at it. I'm not really great at walking into a room.
I don't know if anybody's any good at
I think some people, there are a few people who are actually good at walking into a room. It's a similar thing. I think it's just a bad attitude on my part because I feel like whoever can do it under those circumstances does deserve the job. However, I've been on the other side of auditioning, and I've seen people audition great and then not be able to do the job when they get on the floor.
Some people's gift is the audition.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
That's even worse. I'd rather do a kind of shitty audition and get the part.
Yeah.
And be able
I didn't know you
deliver.
could say shitty.
Right. Well, you know what I mean.
I didn't know you
No,
could
you
say
didn't say
shitty.
shitty. Okay.
I didn't know you could
rather-
say shitty on the show is what I'm trying to say to you.
Oh, yeah, you
You
can.
should have sent me a memo. I would have been much more colorful.
You can say shitty. It's a podcast.
What other things can I
You
say?
can say fuck.
You was that?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
But you know,
Drew does it.
I don't, you know what? I don't
'Cause you're a
because-
lady.
No, because I'm a lady, and because
And she's a Christian.
it's
Okay.
I don't want to compromise her Christianity, but
Okay.
the thing is, I'm a potty mouth. But
I got a potty mouth.
Exactly. But you know
People
what?
who really have potty mouths don't say,
Well, but
I have a
this is
potty
the-
mouth.
He does, though.
I do,
Okay.
but this is the thing. I just think it's dirtier to not say it. I
And
think
I
it's
just say
always
it all.
dirtier. I just think it's dirty, and I like it dirty like that. You know. But,
I like it dirty
Yeah.
like that. You're a naughty,
but
naughty
you-
one.
Deviant.
you came out here as a kid to become a Hollywood star.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you when you came out here?
Well, when I came out here, what was I?
13,
13,
I think.
14, yeah. And, I was going through a hard time because we were leaving something that we weren't used to. We went from Brooklyn to living at a church.
Mm-hmm.
And
In Florida, right?
In Florida, yeah. So we weren't really, we weren't acclimated to life when we got here because we were kind of behind. We were living in like a commune type situation, and we were my sister and I were kind of behind in our education, so we
Why
lost
were you
a year.
behind in your education?
They didn't really promote education as an importance, more as
It was more about earning your keep versus
Yes,
learning.
yes.
So they had jobs they had to do.
Yes, we
versus
got up
going
and
to school.
worked, and yes, exactly. So when we got here, they were like, "You're a year behind," and we're coming again from something that we didn't really know again to something we don't know.
So what made Mom move here? Because of your career and you're wanting to...
Yeah, and she had
act.
friends here, really. And at the time, my mother had just had a baby. Her husband had just left her. And so we didn't have many options.
Right.
We had left the life that we knew in New York. And we really didn't have anything to come back to. So my mom had a friend in LA who said, why don't you come here? You could sleep on our floor until you get to get on your feet. And, that's kind of what we did.
Wow.
Yeah. So
And
we
Leah's
lived
worked a lot of jobs before.
Yeah, I worked. I sold car insurance. I was waitressing. I was working at a graphic arts company. Like I did anything and everything, telemarketing, everything that I could do. Same with my sister. My older sister was working and paying bills.
And when you were sleeping in the church or in the commune,
Yeah.
was that like a Christian church?
No, it was the Church of Scientology's.
Oh, so you were in it before,
Clearwater.
way before.
Her
Oh.
mother brought them up in it.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So and then when you were on Saved by the Bell, how old were you then?
What was I, 18?
You were,
I looked
were
at
you
Michelle
even
like she knows my
18?
whole
But
life
I don't
story.
even think you were. You 18?
Yeah, I was 18. I was
that
18.
was your big break?
Stacey Carosi.
No, I had a series right before that called Living Dolls. I had gotten my first series a year.
You mean the
From
model?
Who's the
Yes,
Boss, yeah.
yes. I just Saved by the Bell after Living Dolls.
So she was on Who's the Boss as Samantha Maselli's friend Charlie.
Oh my God, you see?
Who
Yes.
I remember because I remember her vividly, and then she meets Samantha. She's like this runaway kid.
Yes.
and then she's a fashion model now.
Well,
Wait
yes.
a minute. Wait
yes.
a minute. Wait,
She was
who's
discovered.
Who's the boss? Was
Yeah.
the Samantha Masinda?
With Alyssa
What's-
Milano
what-
with Tony
what-
Dan.
what's
and that
Tony
was
Dance.
one episode?
No, I
No.
basically started 2 episodes prior to Living Dolls. So I basically spun off into started as I ran away like Michelle said,
Right.
to my girlfriend's house who's now living in this big house. I run away, they know me, from
Yeah.
childhood,
Yeah.
and then I spin off into the show called Living Dolls.
But wait a minute. The same production company?
No,
Are you
it
the
was
same character?
It was same character.
Same character.
And my name was Charlie Briscoe. I was friends with Sam, and then I was doing something on the floor with dog food, and this model agent just happened to be walking in the room when she saw me doing this.
By the way,
Yeah.
if I remember, was played by the great Michael Lerner.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I get points for that?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
Huge.
Yeah.
It just came to me right now.
Oh, really? I thought
Right
you
now in
knew-
my head. No, right
Because
now.
you're like a walking encyclopedia
Yes.
to me.
With TV, yeah.
Yeah.
With TV.
And music.
No, that one.
No,
You're great with music.
She's great with music, but she's great with a lot of that
No,
stuff.
she
She
is.
pays attention.
So
Yeah,
I remember when I first met her, I go, right, you were getting a spinoff as a model.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you're 5'2".
Well, what was funny about that is they didn't really want me for the show. Again, I went into ABC Network. There was 50,000 people there. It was terrifying to walk into a room of executives in suits. Imagine a movie theater. That is what you're auditioning in.
Wow.
Okay, with a bunch of people in suits just sitting in the audience, and you're on a stage, totally, and you're reading this material. And so, I just remember them laughing, and I was like, okay, if I don't get this, the character description was, smart mouth, soft, heart, whatever, you know what I mean? Like warm. And I was like, that's me. That's me. If I don't get this part, there's no point in me being an actress.
And Halle Berry was on the show.
Well, what's crazy was Vivica Fox was in the pilot, and then they got Halle Berry. They replaced her with Halle Berry. Yeah.
Right.
Crazy.
Because is that the show with Linda Gray and Carrie Ann Moss?
No.
That was Models Inc.
That was Models Inc.
Yeah, and then there was another thing called Paper Dolls. It was just such a pain in the ass.
How long was Living Dolls on the air?
Again, only 13 episodes.
13
and I was
episodes.
over there on unemployment line with my brand new car, thinking I owned the planet. I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, really? This is what we're doing? Yeah.
And how early did you start training to become an actor?
Well, I didn't actually train. That was the thing. I just figured. I always wanted to act. I really wanted to sing, but I did not have a singing voice
She
per
don't want
se.
to sing.
Okay,
Well-
in my mind,
No, don't
listen,
say well.
Rue, that didn't stop me from auditioning
Right.
for Annie
Yeah.
in New York.
Right.
Just
And it
FYI.
still doesn't stop her from singing to this
It
day.
shouldn't.
Do not care.
It shouldn't. No, absolutely.
Okay, so I audition. Okay, I'm from Bensonhurst. I don't even have a picture, mind you. I had a picture from a regular camera that I wrote my phone number on.
How did you find out about the casting?
Somebody told my mother Leah should audition for Annie. I could teach her real quick the song. And I was like, yeah.
Which one, Tomorrow?
Yeah. Okay. So it's like, yeah, Ma. She goes, you want it? It's called a cattle call. I was like, whatever, call. I'm going. I'm going,
Stop. Did you go and sing The Sun Will Come Out?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
In New York.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this
Broadway.
Yes, so this adopted uncle of ours took me to the city, okay? I have my picture, and I have my phone
Polaroid?
number on the back. Not a Polaroid, but an actual, even worse to me.
Like you went to the
Had to
photomat
go
and
to
had
the
it printed?
Yes. And it was okay, I'll show you the picture.
Please, I want to see it.
Okay. But I thought I looked like Laura Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie. I was like, oh my God, I look so angelic. I mean, this is me thinking this of myself.
Yes.
I look like
Sick.
an orphan.
Yeah.
Already sick in the mind, okay? Because I'm thinking I look fabulous. And I think I even had the shirt, the Laura Ingalls shirt.
Yeah, how old are you at
With
this
the
point? You're-
big prairie sleeves.
Are you like 11 or 12?
Yes. Okay. So I go, and he's like, now listen. Okay, it was one of those things where he was trying to get me in my body. And he literally knelt down. Knelt? Is it knelt or kneeled?
Kneeled?
Swear to God, knelt is not a word.
I always say knelt. He knelt down.
Kneeled.
Check it out. You have a
Yeah, I
computer
know.
here.
It is kneeled, but we say knelt.
Let's get back to us
Yeah.
in breaking news.
Yeah,
Okay.
On the knelt.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Rue, he's kneeling down
This
or
is
knelt.
the cousin, the adopted cousin?
The
No.
adopted uncle.
Yeah.
Yes. He puts me down. Just let us know when we have breaking news. Okay. So he's kneeling and he goes, and he takes my hands and he goes, Leah, you're not going to get this part. And I go, He goes, Leah, I remember this so vividly. You're not going to get this part. This is just for you to get an experience. I was like, But in my mind, I was thinking, absolutely getting the part. Absolutely, these people teach me to sing. Absolutely, they'll slap a wig on me. There is no problem here. To me, I had overcome all the obstacles in my mind.
Breaking news.
Yes.
Both acceptable.
Really?
Yeah, okay.
Breaking
Okay.
news.
So kneeled and
you, Michelle.
kneeled.
Thank you.
Knelt and kneeled.
Kneeled and knelt.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
What that adopted uncle is
Yes.
very smart.
Yes, but he didn't get through to me because I really did think I was going to get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get up there on the stage, and I didn't know they have people on the piano. I mean, I just didn't see anything. I went blind. Honestly, went 100% blind. My heart, I could have sworn they saw coming right out of my Laura shirt.
Right.
Because it was so like... I could not see anything. I couldn't
And this
see
was your
anything.
first real audition?
This is my
Okay.
first real audition. Couldn't see, couldn't hear. But then somewhere along the line, I come to and I hear, okay, thank you, go home. And I go, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't know the girl was going to play on the piano. I didn't know they give you a key. I don't have a key. You know what I mean?
Did you say that?
No. I didn't say any of this,
okay.
but I just go. I said I don't know. I just said I didn't know the girl was gonna play the thing, the piano. Can I start again? He's like, no. Thank you very much. Go home to mommy. Okay, literally, it was like an ABC. I just looked at it because I was like, I couldn't breathe, like that. I mean, and my uncle kept saying, "I told you," and literally all I got out was like, and I just really, I went after it. Like that was it. He was like, "Thank you."
That's
Oh my
cool.
goodness! Now, when you told the story of the adopted uncle and him taking you by the shoulders and looking you in the eyes and saying, "Connect with me," and you couldn't connect. Something about the directions getting to hear thing, it all played together.
Yeah.
And even the acting where you connect with an acting partner. There's something to do with connecting and asking the question, what question am I not asking? I think that is the most important question to ask in life. It's like, what am I not seeing? What am I not getting from this? And I love that story of that adopted uncle. Is he still with us?
No, he's not. But he was very loved and he was very supportive of us. He ended up he was living with us in Brooklyn because he saw like, wow, these kids are just all over the place. Because my mother was at the church all the time, and so this is right. And so he kind of moved in. It was like these kids need to be taken care of.
But it wasn't like weird, right?
No, not at all.
Because when you say like adopted uncle,
I know it seems weird, but he was
when
so
I hear
sweet.
that,
and,
I hear gay guy. Is that
yeah, he was lovely. He was a lovely. Like
so you're
he really
lucky,
did.
Really.
Yeah, very lucky. He really took care of us, and it was really quite sweet.
So did you stay in touch with him when you guys moved out west?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, and then he moved out here, and so we always kept in touch with him. He was
Isn't
very
it funny,
sweet.
these people who come into your life who are like guardian angels who say, there's a thing I do. If I'm procrastinating, I will say this other voice will go, Rue, wake up. I'm going, what? I say, go do the thing. I say, okay, yes. I have to do that thing like the adopted uncle. I have to be that way for myself. Even with directions or even when I'm in a scene with someone and I have to go, Rue, or auditioning, which I still do, where I have to go, Rue, take a bird's eye view of the situation and go, what's at stake here? Why do you need to be nervous?
Right.
What are you not seeing? Just breathe and be yourself because you are taken care of. And I always have been, always will be.
Yes.
Always. I'm a lucky mother.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'll say I'm a lucky motherfucker.
Yeah.
I really am. I think it's important to know that.
You're absolutely right.
Because you have had a career in Hollywood that is the one that everybody wants.
Oh my
God. It's true. You were on Who's the Boss early on. Straight to this other series. You have worked and worked. You are a worker.
Yeah, I do work. I mean, that's the thing. People think, it's, you disappear for a year or 2 years. It's not necessarily that you weren't working. It's just that you were doing a show that didn't get on the air. Or you did 2 shows that didn't get on the air. And it's not an easy business to be in that way. That, the ups and downs, they're very hot. The ups are very up. And it's the middle ground, I think, is harder. Because the down was kind of fun for me. The struggling was fun. Because you weren't aware of what success was, and that was exciting. I love, because then I actually did go to class. After my first years, I started class, and still kind of do dabble in it, because I feel like the class that I started in was the Beverly Hills Playhouse, and then I went with my teacher who ended up leaving, Jocelyn Jones, who was amazing, because the first time she met me, the first thing they ask you to do is stand up and tell something about yourself. So you get up and you tell your story in front of the class. Again, it's like on a stage, real, if you've been to a play, anybody knows what that is. So you're like at a playhouse, and you get up and you're sitting in a seat in front of people you don't know, and you just tell them your life story. And as I was talking, I was getting these big laughs from the class. I was like, oh my God, I already took this class, and and then at the end, I had it. I had you, okay? And at the end, I'm like, what? Subconsciously, I'm like, this bitch is taking notes about what? Like, what are you gonna note me? Like, note myself?
My yeah.
Like, sorry, can't do anything about it. That's what happened, Jocelyn. And so she lifts up her sleeves at the end, and she's like, okay. And I was like, oh my God, she just lifted up her sleeves. Like, let's get down to business. And the first thing out of her mouth was, well, you're very funny and you're very charming. And I love this Brooklyn thing that you do. I think it's going to serve you very well. But you know what I'd love to see is the real Leah, the mushy Leah, the one that's a bleeding heart. Because I tell you, under all that, you're a pussycat, and that's a beautiful thing, and I want to see more of that. And when you smile, you light up a room. And I was like, immediately crying. She's like, yeah, that's the girl. That's the girl. The other thing is great because it's protecting you, and it's a great thing. It will get you work. But sometimes, Leah, you have to be Leah and allow that vulnerable side of you to come out, you know? And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. No, I did, totally. And, you know, she really did. She cracked me in one 30-second session with her. And she was a beautiful person. And she still is. Like, I go to her for coaching because there are, like I said, jobs that I do want. You know, like, there was a show for HBO. They were like they didn't even want to entertain the idea of me coming in. I was like, just get me in the damn room.
Because they know you as a specific thing.
Correct, right. And you know what? I don't mind. You know, it's like, I
you're
get
an
it.
actor. Actors bring
but sometimes when you see the show, you're like, oh, hell no. Like, I see what you were saying. Yeah, you needed a British bitch up in that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Are there a lot of what role did you not get that you felt you really should have gotten that you wanted?
See, I don't look at it like that. People have asked me that before, and I wish I actually had an answer. I wish I could say that I see myself as this, or wish I would have gotten that. But I always feel like even things that I didn't really want or didn't want to go after that were successes, I just feel like there was something about that part. I wasn't supposed to receive that yet. And if that meant crazy success with Emmys and Golden Globe, whatever it was, like it just wasn't meant for me in that moment.
That's a hard thing to really accept, though, because especially for somebody, and we talk about this all the time, how it's hard to accept, and I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But it's taken me a long time, and I still struggle with it every day, to go with that, to go, look, this didn't happen for a reason.
But like what?
Like anything. Like, I didn't get that part for a reason. Like, you didn't win that Emmy for a reason.
Yes.
You know, and it's hard to tell yourself that and believe that, but I guess we have to.
Yeah, and that's also something I feel it'll keep you striving for something. Yeah. You know, it's like, you know, I've always wanted to see my mother in the audience at the Emmys. I always wanted to give the speech and say it was my mother who supported me and my, you know, I always wanted to give the Emmy speech. You know, well, I'd take a Golden Globe as well.
Sure.
I don't want to limit myself. I would prefer People's Choice. I think.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's the people.
That's it.
Yeah.
So paper dolls,
Living dolls.
living dolls.
Yes.
To King of Queens. How much time in between there?
Oh, years,
Yeah,
right?
because you had Saved by the Bell.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, so it was paper dolls.
Oh, and then I was
Saved
doing
by
like
the Bells.
Blossom. I did something on NYPD Blue. You know, I just kept working. I just kept getting like parts,
Like
but then going back to work, like going back to my regular job,
Really?
selling car insurance.
Really?
Humbling.
Yeah.
Yes, very
Right.
humbling. And then, as a matter of fact, I worked for a guy at a graphic arts company. I lied to him, and I told him I typed. This is when typewriters were still in existence, and and he asked me to write a letter one day, and I was out there for hours, and he called me on the intercom. He's like, "Is that letter coming for me to sign?" And I was like, "Can I come talk to you, please?" And he's like, "Yes." So I come in. I go, "I just want to tell you, like, I lied about the typing." And he was doing this. I was like, yeah, one finger, and then like whiting it out. And I was like, oh, I screwed the whole thing up because I got white out on the whole thing. And then I had to like start again, you know. So I was like, I lied about that. And he was like, you're so cute. You know, one day I think you're going to be a big actress. So I'm not going to fire you because I want you to actually thank me one day for keeping you on.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! And you continued to work for him.
Yeah. Well, he fired me from that particular job. But he said, I want you to be be an assistant,
moved
you know.
on to
Right.
Yeah. And then I went up to his house on Mulholland, and, you know, this is the first time I'm seeing, money, you
What
know.
do you mean you went to his house?
Because he wanted me to pick up the dry cleaning and meet his wife. So I go up there, and she's doing some crazy project, like literally pulling out individual pieces of thread out of her robe, watching like One Life to Live with a tweezer. Like she just was like one of those people that just and she was Greek, and she was like grabbing my face. She was like, do you want a cold cut sandwich and a Coke? I was like, yeah. you have hard bread? Yeah. She was like, oh my God, kept grabbing me going, you're so cute. Oh my God, you're so cute. Oh, Leah, you want a cookie? I was like, yeah, I want a cookie. You know, and then she kept me up there for a couple hours. And then the guy called, and he's like,
"Are you ever coming back?"
Is my assistant there? And she's like, "Oh yeah, she's here." He goes, "Put her on the phone." I was like, "Oh no, just tell my left." She's like, "No, he wants to talk to you." I was like, yeah. So he goes, "Are you coming back? And what is it that you're doing?" I was like, "Oh, your wife is here." And I was getting the dry cleaning, but she was doing this thing with her robe, and then I kind of got interesting, and then she.
I didn't want to be rude.
I don't want to be rude. That's your wife. And then she offered me a sandwich and some Oreos. And she was like, oh, no. I figured, I was doing, like, if it was the wife, it was okay. And he's like, okay, get back here now. I was like, okay,
I would have done the same thing.
So no on the dry cleaning. He goes, no, come back here now.
What did he do?
And then he fired me from that.
Because of that episode?
It was the wife's fault.
All right, but he's like, you should know better. And then he goes, okay, now you're going to collect money for us. Okay, so then he kept me on that.
What business was he
It
in?
was graphic arts.
Oh, for graphic arts.
Yes.
Wow.
And
Mulholland Drive kind of money?
Oh,
graphic
hell
arts?
yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
He was making good money, but he was so him and his wife.
So then Saved by the Bell, did you have to work after Saved by the Bell?
Yes.
You did.
Had
You
to work.
continued to work.
Yes.
But
Even though you were on a big story arc there?
Yeah, but it was 6 episodes. At this time, I'm like, starting to pay most of the rent, in my family. And, it just became more and more like I just had to keep making
like they were
money.
relying on you in a way?
Well, because I was the one kept saying to my family, we deserve more, So, no, we were not living in a house on Mulholland. We were living in an apartment in Hollywood. But I was like, we certainly don't need to live behind a bar.
So it was you, your mother, your older sister, and the baby.
Right. And then George came into the picture.
Right.
So my stepfather.
Right.
So yeah, but still, again, everybody was kind of coming out of the same circumstance. So we had no money saved
the
up.
period between King of Queens and Saved by the Bell, there's that area in there. How many years are in between
I
there?
don't know.
That was 90 something.
Yeah.
It was
there was Fired Up, and no, Saved by the Bell was early on, right? Then
Yes.
Fired Up was happening in
There was
20
years
when I
in
was
between
25, 26.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
because it was
started
1996. I think that I did Fired Up. That's when I met my husband. Mm-hmm. So it was right after that King of Queens came, right? Yeah.
Well, when I met you, you were already on King of Queens.
Right. So it was just right before.
2002.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. I mean, I'm sure so many people in Hollywood who have those same type of stories where, there's a lot of struggling involved and there's a lot of soul searching. Like, I'm still,
you're right.
still stuck on the story of the uncle, of the play uncle or something. And how did that change you? I'm back to the audition at Annie. How were you changed after that audition? What sort of shifted or recalibrated after that?
Did anything?
Well, it did do something because I was like, screw that. The guy didn't give me a chance. I really did believe that I could get it. Completely crazy naive, but I think you need to be that somewhat, and you do need to believe in yourself in a crazy way.
Absolutely.
Not in an egotistical way, not in a I deserve the world way, but in a I think I could get there way, and I see myself in that. And because I grew up on Carol Burnett and Gilda Radner, and I remember, watching these shows and, I Love Lucy and hearing the audience reaction was what killed me. Like, I'm sure you guys had a similar experience where you would like cover your eyes watching Lucy get caught. Like, I was so embarrassed. I was like in the moment with her, but I also remember hearing the audience and going, wow, they're making people feel something. I didn't think that as a thought as a kid, but I remember going, I want to produce that in people. And so I would do shows for my mom and my grandma, and they would, my grandmother would sit there, my mother would get bored. But, like the grandmothers are like, always the one that hang in there. No, go ahead, darling. And I was like, I have one more skit, grandma,
Hang in there.
And she was, I think grandmother's like, you're the best thing that ever happened, right? So she, so I remember having that desire very young of wanting to make people laugh. So that made me feel like, I'm sorry, Michelle.
No, go ahead.
That made me feel like, you know what? You're not gonna get me. I mean, even as a young person, I thought that. Then I decided I needed to be in the city. Okay, like I had ideas as a kid, crazy ideas as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I live in Bensonhurst. And I don't see a whole lot of Fame people here, because I was watching Fame at the time. And I was like, where are the Fame?
Coco.
You know what I mean? Where are the artsy people? Like, everybody I know has a DA
Did you
and a
want to go
cross.
to LaGuardia? Did
What?
you want to go to LaGuardia High School?
Yes.
For the performing arts?
Of course. I auditioned for the performing arts.
Did you dance on cars?
Let me just tell you what
At
I
lunch
had the
tables?
balls to do, Michelle.
Please tell me.
Okay. I had the balls to dance and sing for my audition. Yes. And I think I got in on the singing audition.
You did not.
I think I sang,
LaGuardia?
why do fools fall in love? Why do birds
At
sing so?
You went to LaGuardia?
Yeah. No, I didn't go.
You went to
because
the
we
audition.
left right after that.
I
Okay,
see.
but listen, I was like, there's no long-haired people in my neighborhood, and that's the right people. Those are the artsy folk.
You
So I
said-
decided to go to Dance in the City. And Phil Black, Phil Black. Jennifer went to Phil
Phil
Black.
Black Studio.
Yes.
Huh.
And I had a fight with him too. Okay. He told
Why?
me
He tell you you
because he told me I sucked. Okay. One day he called me out and because the way they did that class was beginning it was crazy. Like, beginners and advanced were in the same class. In the
Oh,
same.
that's not good.
So they had pushed me up. And he was watching me, and I was, of course, giving him Brooklyn face. And he was like, who are you? And I was like, who are you? And he's like, okay. He didn't even answer me. Like, a bad motherfucker when they don't answer you. Or say, you better ask somebody. You don't know who. Like, he was like, okay. He goes, here's the Bowery, and he puts his hands up really high. And then he goes, here's the Bowery, puts his hands really low, then here's me, and he puts himself really high, and he goes, guess where you are? And I was like, in the middle? And he's like, no. And he went below the Bowery. So I said, go F yourself. And he said, no, go F yourself.
This is in the middle of the class in front of everybody.
In front of everybody, back to Bensonhurst, where you belong. So I take my stuff, and I walk out after saying I'm going to have his legs broken. He's like, okay, Brooklyn, okay. And I'm like, what's my age at this point, Michelle? Maybe 12?
Right.
With this attitude? Okay, in this
And who
mouth?
brought you there?
I took the train by myself!
At 12?
Yes!
Your daughter's 10. Imagine her.
Well, back then, people didn't care.
Yeah. Well, no, kids weren't as precious back then as they are
No,
today.
they weren't, but
We used to take the train. Maybe my sister was with me, but downstairs. I don't even remember. But that. By the way, that was the first time we ever saw like sexual things. Was going into the city with people.
Right.
How disgusting they were to kids. Like I couldn't imagine. Like that stuff didn't happen in Bensonhurst. You didn't see men touching themselves. Things like this. It was. That's why the city was crazy to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
It was
it
like.
was.
Yeah. Now, Mitchell, earlier you said that everybody in Bensonhurst had a cross and a DA.
Yeah.
What's a DA?
A duck's ass. It's when your hair goes back and then meets in the middle in the back.
Yeah, right.
You never heard
Yeah.
DA before?
No, I've never heard that before.
It's like how they did in Greece where they slick it back.
Sure.
Yeah,
Both
and
sides
then
meet
and
like
then
a-
it comes
Oh,
together
yes,
in the
I
back.
love that.
Yes, so like
Yeah.
we call them cousins. They're just like Italian guys. They're usually named Frankie or Joey or Sal, Anthony. And these are the people that Michelle and I were going to marry.
And we dated probably every one of them.
Yes.
Oh, Michelle tells this story about this guy who says
Anthony Bonavolante.
Would you please tell this story? He says, Michelle, what is it?
I was at the bar, be at this bar in Jersey Shore,
Yeah.
and Anthony Bonavolante was there all the time.
Yeah.
And he said his T's like that. Anthony Bonavolante.
Yes.
So I'm at the bar, and he goes, can I get you a melon ball? And I'm
Love
like,
him.
All right, get me
Yeah.
a melon ball. Meanwhile, I drank maybe 5 times in my life. I'm
Right.
like, all right, I'll get a melon ball. He goes, by the way, Michelle. I go, what? He goes, your ass is mint.
I love him. I love Anthony. Now, has he ever called you for telling these stories?
Never. I used to see him all the time. He said, your ass
Is mint. I
You loved it all the time.
Oh my God!
Swear to God.
I know this guy.
No. We all know this
I
guy.
know this guy.
And we love this guy.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
I was at the bar going, oh, thank you.
Oh my God, totally.
My husband's so mean.
Oh my God, totally.
Oh my God.
Yes, there's nothing better than a guy like this.
I love it.
It's our childhood.
Yes.
It's who we dated and who we swore we were going to marry.
Well,
Exactly
you
right.
know, you've come a long way, Miss Remini, a
Thank you.
long way, and the stories to tell, it's just amazing. I'm just always fascinated by people who are successes in Hollywood, because for every success, there are 100 who didn't go the distance, who couldn't go the distance. I'm always interested in what it actually took to go the distance, because you're torn down all the time, with the auditions and the this and the people saying, "Oh no, you're not right for this," and the people who can hang in there, luck aside, because luck is a big part
Yes,
of the
of
whole
course.
thing, but then it's what you were talking about, that moxie, that thing that says, "No, I can do this. I know this is my destiny."
Yes.
Getting
and
to
not
the core of
giving
that.
up.
And not giving up.
And I think what the problem is that I really did enjoy regular work, because at my work, and I find this, and you could tell me if I'm wrong or way off, but I believe that people come to LA or New York and they work a quote unquote regular job are so miserable about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I
yeah, for sure.
loved my regular job.
Really?
Why?
Yes,
Why?
because I would tell everybody, listen, don't get used to seeing me here. I'm going to be a big star. And they'd be like, yeah, if I had $1, I go, oh, okay, you're going to feel like the biggest asshole because it's going to happen.
I did the same thing. Well, I was
Yes.
a receptionist, did the same thing. I
Yeah.
said, I have a record coming out. They're like, okay.
Right.
All right. I said, no, I do.
Yes.
I'm a singer.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm an actress.
And I enjoyed working.
Yeah.
Because I looked at the job as a way for me to pay my rent. I looked at it as a way for me to buy clothes for my audition.
But you're also
and
performing.
I was very...
You're also performing for the people at your
Yes,
job.
but I enjoyed it. And I think people who die out are people who think they shouldn't be working a regular job. They shouldn't be going from their regular job to their acting class and getting zero sleep and just really struggling. They think they should have this life that they didn't work for yet, and they should have this time off. And that's the mentality that's the killer.
But I also-
or they're bitter. They become bitter and go, "Oh, why'd she work? She's not as talented as me." Well, don't worry about it. It was her time. Like,
Right.
God bless her. It was her moment. Your moment will come, but it's not going to come with that shitty attitude.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Your humble beginnings helped, and the way that
Yes.
you were raised helped ground you
Yes.
the way you are today. Because there's a lot of people that I see that didn't have humble beginnings or were gifted things, or for whatever situation, they have changed.
Yes.
And even though through all your success, I feel like there's still a very part of that realness.
Yeah, but you know
you.
what? I
Yeah,
think
I have
that
regular friends
But
too. I have
immediate
good
regular
friends,
But I think
good family.
there's more to it. I think there's somehow, and we watch it every season on our show, where the kids are challenged to really become reborn into a bigger self, and to leave some of the Bensonhurst or some of the San Diego behind, and emerge into their greater self. And a lot of people don't have what it takes to make that transition. Now, before we talk about emerging into your greater self, let's take a moment to talk about Squarespace. We received some really great emails at RuPaulPodcast@gmail.com about your Squarespace websites. This email is from Ryan Swinney. Hi, Ru and Michelle. First of all, I love the podcast and so glad it's working out for everyone. I've been using Squarespace since you first recommended it on the podcast, and I haven't regretted it once. It allows me as a graphic designer to upload any new artwork I create to be exposed to the web. My work ranges from corporate literature to magazines. In fact, one of the most popular sections of my website is dedicated to my RuPaul Drag Race art. I enjoy designing potential album artwork for many of the queens, including yourself, and I find I get my most positive feedback from RuPaul Drag Race fans, which is fantastic, especially coming from the UK. It allows me to connect to a much wider audience. In fact, one of my pieces for Manila and Jinx's song Bring It was featured on the New Now Next website, which was a great thrill. You can check out my work at ryswinney.com. That's ryswinney.com. That's really cool. I love that. And I would love to know what you think of my work. Keep doing what you're doing, girl. Looking forward to the next podcast. Love, Ryan Swinney, Aberdeen, Scotland. Oh, I love that. All the way in Scotland. So guys, Ryan's site is awesome. He is the lead designer at one of Scotland's top publishing agency, and by looking at his work, it is well deserved. It's really wonderful, when you're inspired to make such terrific art and share it with the world. You guys should definitely check out his site. Now, for a free trial and no credit card required, just go to squarespace.com. And when you are blown away, honey, and ready to confirm a plan, just use the offer code RU to get 10% off. You'll be getting a great deal, and you'll be helping to keep What's the Tea free. Thanks again to Squarespace, and keep sending in your websites to RuPaulPodcast@gmail.com. That's squarespace.com, offer code RU. So, Michelle, what do you think about merging into your greater self?
That's what I mean. And what I think I was drawn to when Leah and I met, Sinbad is the one who hooked us up.
Oh, really?
I had met her before because Goomba, Johnny, our radio comrade from New York, had a crush on her. So they did CBS upfronts for King Queens. He said, please come into the city with me. Please, I'm dying. She's my crush. I just want to meet her. And I was like, fuck. Okay, I don't want to, but I'll go because I love you. So I went with him.
With Goomba Johnny?
Yes, just to meet her. He's like, I'm really nervous. What do I say?
He's acting ridiculous.
Ridiculous. I said, we're going in to meet her. So I ended up talking to her more than he did. Because he was just like, how do you like Kevin James? Really? It was like that moment. And you can totally see it because you know John.
I know.
So we ended up leaving. I hadn't seen her again. And then when I moved to Los Angeles to do radio with Sinbad in 2002, he said, you need to meet my friend Leah. I go, Leah Remini? He's like, yeah. He goes, I said, no. We're way too similar. It's going to be a bad thing.
But we're not. No. That's what's so funny, right?
Even though on the outside we may appear.
And sound and
act.
And also in singing voice.
You can go fuck yourself.
How are you guys different? How are you
different? Say that without laughing. I know that was an insult. I'm sorry.
In what ways are you guys different? Are not, similar?
How are we not similar?
Yeah. Because from what I see, you guys are very similar.
Very similar in many ways. But I think there's differences. I think that, not many differences. I think that I learn a lot from Leah, especially in this business. She tells me, Leah's tougher than I am. I know that's hard to believe.
Yes.
She's tougher than I am.
Yeah,
tougher in what way?
She puts up with way less shit than I put up with.
Yes. She lets things go too far, I think. Or she worries about the way something's going to... like I'll say, send this email and send that email to these people. Let me write it. And she's like, don't send anything. Don't send it. I'm going to send it as her from my email. So she gets petrified of those moments, but it's like, no, you gotta put your foot down here. You have to say exactly what it is you want. She's nicer in general. Even in your relationship, you're nicer. You're a much better wife.
But I'm not a better wife. I'm just kinder at times.
You give blowjobs, I think.
Not anymore. That stopped. But she's the reason. She is the main reason why I'm on RuPaul's Drag Race, because when they said no to me again for season 3, I called her and I said, I don't know what to do. And she said, I'm going to tell you who's the name of the boss there. She was still on CBS. I go, what? She goes, I'm going to call the head of CBS Radio. I go, what are you, my mother? You're going to call up and say, let Michelle take the time off? She goes, if you don't do it, I'm going to do it. They don't drop TV shows in people's laps. This is the second time.
Right. Because we
this.
had asked you to come on the show, and the people you were working for at CBS Radio said you can't move, you can't do the show.
And since I'm the sole provider for my family, my husband does not work, I couldn't walk away from my contract. I would have been sued. It was a 5-year deal.
Right.
So when they came back again season 3, I said, I'm finding a way to do it. And I told Leah, I said, they said no again. And she said, no way. You're calling up the president of the company. If you don't, I will. And I was like, what? Okay. I can't have you call up and be my mother. So I'm going to do it. I did it because she pushed me.
Because you were afraid to disappoint the people?
I didn't want to step on anybody's toes.
She didn't want to piss off CBS, which I understand. You know what I mean? They said no.
Right.
But it even happened better because you then saw them at a party. You were at a party one night, I think the very next night. And your boss was there.
I saw him.
Yeah.
And I called him.
Yeah.
The president, and he ended up being in town the next day.
Yeah.
But I said, listen, do you have a problem? He goes, no, I don't care. Mind you, I got fired on the last day that we shot our last episode of season 3.
Season 3. Oh, you did. Okay.
I did get let go, but it didn't matter because Miami was waiting in the wings to hire me.
I see.
So it wasn't even a problem.
Right.
So I knew I was going to get fired for it,
Right.
but he got fired the day after for saying no when I found out that he was a homophobe.
Wow.
He got fired. But it wasn't for her giving me the advice and pushing me, saying, "Don't be an asshole. This is a great
'cause
opportunity."
it wasn't right. You know what I mean?
No.
That's the way I gauge
But
things.
you understand that in Hollywood,
it's not
sometimes
right.
it's not right, and
Yeah.
that's the way it works.
No, it wasn't right though. And to me, right is right, wrong is wrong.
Yeah, but
and
you know,
sometimes you're gonna get in trouble.
And then there's
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yes,
You know?
Right. And
Yes.
they don't even play by rules.
Right.
No, they don't.
But she told me,
yeah.
and what she said was right, and what she's saying about me is right.
Yeah.
I don't like to ruffle feathers in the sense that I will go, okay, I don't want them to look bad at me because this is what I do for a living. They'll never hire me again.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But she's like, you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know what? I just read a story about Raquel Welch when she was hired to do a movie called Cannery Row in 1980 or 81, something like that. Well, she was 5 days into the shoot, and it looked like she wasn't. Apparently, this is what I read. Apparently, she wasn't up for the job, and that she was late to set, whatever, and they fired her. They hired the woman from Officer and a Gentleman.
Deborah Winger?
Yes, they hired Deborah
gonna say
Winger.
Deborah
Right.
Winger.
So Raquel Welch sued MGM. And then 5 or 6 years later, she was awarded $11 million. But of course, she never worked again in Hollywood. She ended up doing. She went to Broadway and did some Vegas stuff or whatever, and she exercised workout tapes. But my
Your point is, even though that was right,
it was right that she was fired unjustly, and they should have paid her a thing. She was blacklisted after that.
and I might be from radio at this point, but the way I looked at it was, I didn't care because I
No.
wanted to get here. I wanted to work with my best friend.
Yeah.
My other best friend's telling me what I got to do. These
Yeah.
are the people that really, honestly, I have a lot of friends. I have a very small circle that matter what they have to say.
Yeah.
And I really take it seriously. You're one of them. Leah's one of them. It's very small. So, when I talked to my husband and it was like, I got to get here because this is what I want to do. Leah knows that I want to be here. She knows that I want to work on TV. This is what I want to do. She's like, this is your ticket.
Yeah.
If I didn't have her pushing and you going, please, I don't know what would have happened.
Right.
But I think that she was like the catalyst to all of it working
What's
out.
funny, I'm going to go back to the
Are you
driving.
getting teary-eyed?
No, something's bothering me.
I'm going to go back to the
Is that
driving and the
I was about to
GPS
be like-
system of having friends and people who can guide you with the Jocelyn Jones and the GPS and the northwest, southeast.
That's never going to happen.
And the uncle who takes you by
Yeah.
the things. Being able to take those directions and also being able to do that for yourself and learning the musculature it takes to say, Rue, wake up. I was like, huh?
Right,
All right,
right.
where am I? What's going on?
Yeah.
And knowing the right thing to do and knowing how to navigate that, especially in Hollywood, which is it is probably the most dog-eat-dog profession I can think
It's only
of.
getting harder, by the way.
Well, I don't know. It's and I just want to know, has that philosophy, that your right and wrong philosophy, where has that bitten you in the buns?
Well, it's gotten me fired, and that's okay.
We don't want to talk about that.
No, it's fine. It's just, and my mouth has gotten me into trouble. I've said things I didn't mean to say.
Do you regret that? Do you regret those storylines?
I regret that I wasn't smart enough in the moment to come outside myself and my own rightness and my own thing, because there's always a better way to handle it, and I'm not really good at that.
Lies. You've
In the
grown
moment.
so much since leaving the church. I'm saying this as one of her closest friends. I have seen a complete change in my friend here for the better. Not that she was worse, but for some reason, she has this calm now over her that was never there. It's there all the time now. She's so open to so many things that she never would have looked at twice
Thank you.
just a few years ago. It's the truth.
No, she's right. I mean, you're very much taught what to think, and listen, a lot of it helped me. A lot of it did guide me to not do drugs ever. I didn't never get into that scene and stuff like that. And I'm not saying I was an angel either. Still not. But my point is, and Michelle's point is that she's right. I did have a very structured and small-minded view of the world. Rigid, perfect. Yes, rigid view of the world, and what I thought of people was what we all thought of people. And this is how we think. And this is what we think of this group. And this is what we think of that group. and this is how we deal with this group. And it was very group thought, and the group just kind of followed the group. And since leaving, it's like, oh, okay, so not all these people are bad. Okay, not all these people mean me harm, or and that it's a very fighter mentality. It's very fight or flight mentality. And I was always in an agitated state, always ready to fight, always ready to be right, always ready, and that's just not a good place to be. For anybody. And having a kid helps, having a good husband and good family. My mom has been with me this whole time. I have good friends like Michelle. Again, small group but mighty group, and a group of people who love and care about you goes a long way. So yeah, she's right. I'm calmed down, and I do regret in a way that's not like I look back and wish I had done it differently. I wish that I just knew better for myself, but it also taught me something, so I don't regret it. It's a weird thing. It's a struggle with, I wish I had one sentence to give you. But there is. It's like I look at it like all the bad, all the good, it happened. We're here talking now, laughing.
I love
And
it.
it's a
I love
rebirth.
it.
It's a rebirth
Yeah.
for you.
Yes.
It
I
really
love it.
is.
Yeah.
I'm still caught on your
Uncle.
I
Yeah.
love that image of someone who's saying, "Look, I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
You're not going to get this job, but this experience here
Yes.
is what this is
Well,
about."
that's what it's about, experience.
It really
and I think
is.
we all, need to just learn to experience, because I was not used to experiencing life.
What was your
And-
uncle's name?
His name is Tom.
Tom.
Yeah.
I want to.
Uncle Tom.
Uncle Tom.
I want to dedicate this show to Uncle Tom, and
love
I
it.
think that philosophy and what we've talked about is so helpful in terms of finding your own GPS system and finding
great.
you, because everybody intuitively has that. It's just we block it in certain ways and ideas of, well, I'm from this place, or we do things this way here, and being open to that, I think, is what life is all about, and getting that experience. So-
And her illustrious career continues.
And continues
And you're at
and
the
continues.
point, which is so incredible. And you too, Rue, you're at the point where you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do. And do you know how nice that is?
Yeah.
To not, like, I still have to be a whore. You guys can pick and choose.
Well, we still have to whore.
I
am
a little
still
bit.
whoring,
Yeah,
yes.
still whoring.
True,
Still
in different
whoring in a
ways.
way.
I enjoy
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But seriously, you get to
No,
say,
it is
you know
a
what, this
blessing.
is what makes me happy now. This
Yeah.
is what I want to do right now.
Yeah.
Because you can. That in itself is such a gift.
But Michelle, even looking at where you were to where you are now,
Oh, yeah.
is a thing. I mean, like the other day, I didn't want to go anywhere on Labor Day. Like, I just didn't want to go anywhere. And I was like, but I love the ocean. And I was like, why don't I just go? And it literally was like a decision, right? Like, I could decide to either be where I choose to what my eyes want to look at is water. Like, I just love being in the water. And then even further, I was at the ocean, and Sophia's my daughter, going, come in. I'm like, Mommy doesn't go in the water. That just became a thing in my life. People go, Leah doesn't go in the water. My mother goes, Leah doesn't go in the water. My stepfather, she doesn't go in the water there.
I love that,
Everybody
George.
it just became a thing that I never go in the water. And then I was sitting there going, why don't I go in the water? If it's going to bring me joy, like, why am I not going in the water? Fear of shark, fear of jellyfish, fear of paparazzi, fear of this, fear of cellulite. And I was thinking all of the things, and I was like, just get in the damn water.
Right.
Just change your mind.
Did you go?
Yeah, freaking went in the water. And my husband was like, Leah, what are you doing? And my daughter was like, Leah, Mommy, and I was like, everybody relax, I'm in the water. And I'm like frolicking around. And I'm like, oh my God. I love the water. You guys. And I'm like, literally, like, and I look crazy. I was like, what if TMZ was there? They would have gone lunatic in the water, right?
Amazing.
But I thought, like, it just simply took something like that, like what you're saying, a thought just to change your mind about what you're doing and enjoying what you have now. If it's a job where you're a waitress or a waiter, enjoy it. It won't be for long, and just enjoy your customers. Enjoy that we're doing this show. Enjoy that, Michelle, you might be on just the cusp of something big for you. You know what I mean? It's like we're all growing.
Yeah.
Hopefully. That's the thing. It's
That's
about
it,
growth.
hopefully.
No, because some people are not.
Yeah.
No,
right.
every day can be looked at as a lesson and
Yes.
a chance to grow.
Yeah.
I agree.
I love it.
I agree.
And on that note, I think we will close out this show. What a great show. And I think there's a lot of great stuff for people out there who are trying to find their way with listen, you got a GPS system, north, south, east, you got it. You got it. And you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So thanks for joining us. And thank Leah Remini for joining us.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
Fantastic.
I love this.
All right, kids. Well, until next time.
Yeah.
Bye. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen? And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Amen.